Right now, the Pentagon is making one of the most controversial decisions in modern military aviation history. While China builds up its air power and tensions rise in the Indo-Pacific, America's defense leaders just made a shocking choice that has military experts divided. They're pouring $3.5 billion into the Air Force's revolutionary F-47 fighter jet, while essentially freezing the Navy's own sixth-generation fighter program. This isn't just about money or politics. This decision could reshape how America fights future wars. Boeing just beat out Lockheed Martin in what many are calling the defense contract of the decade. But here's what nobody saw coming. The Navy's FA-20 program, which was supposed to be the future of carrier-based aviation, just got slashed by 84%. Military insiders are calling this move either brilliant strategic thinking or a dangerous gamble that could leave our aircraft carriers vulnerable. Welcome to Jet Insight, where we break down the most important military aviation developments that shape our national security. If you believe America should maintain the strongest military in the world, type "proud" in the comments below. The F-47 revolution begins on March 21, 2025. President Trump stood in the Oval Office flanked by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Air Force Chief of Staff General David Ulvin to make an announcement that sent shockwaves through the defense industry. Boeing had won the contract to build America's first sixth-generation fighter jet, the F-47.
The Air Force is going to be awarding the contract for the next-generation air dominance platform to Boeing.
This wasn't just another aircraft announcement. This was the Pentagon declaring that the future of air combat would be revolutionized under their next-generation air dominance program. The F-47 represents everything America has learned about air superiority over the past decades. Unlike anything we've seen before, this fighter isn't just designed to dominate enemy aircraft. It's built to be the quarterback of an entirely new kind of warfare. Picture a single pilot controlling not just their own aircraft, but commanding up to 1,000 autonomous drone wingmen in real-time combat. That's the vision behind Boeing's masterpiece. General Ulvin called it the most advanced, lethal, and adaptable fighter ever developed, designed specifically to outpace, outmaneuver, and outmatch any adversary that dares challenge American airmen. The numbers back up these bold claims. The F-47 boasts a combat radius exceeding 1,000 nautical miles, nearly double that of our current F-22 Raptors. Its top speed surpasses Mach 2, and its stealth capabilities go far beyond anything our enemies can detect. The technology packed into the F-47 reads like science fiction brought to life. Advanced artificial intelligence assists with decision-making in split-second combat scenarios. Non-GPS navigation systems guarantee the aircraft can operate even when enemy forces jam satellite signals. Enhanced data sharing capabilities allow unprecedented coordination between air, land, and sea forces. The stealth technology is so advanced that Trump himself described the aircraft as virtually unseeable to enemy radar systems. Boeing's victory over Lockheed Martin wasn't just about building a better fighter jet. It was about reimagining how America fights wars. The company made what they called the most significant investment in the history of our defense business to win this contract, positioning America's defense industrial base for the next generation of warfare against any threat that dares challenge our freedom. The budget bombshell that shocked Washington. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn that has military analysts buzzing with concern and controversy. The Pentagon's fiscal year 2026 budget request, revealed on June 27, 2025, exposed a decision that nobody saw coming. While the F-47 program received a massive $3.5 billion boost, the Navy's own sixth-generation fighter program, the FA-20, was essentially put on life support. The numbers tell a stark story. The Navy's FA-20 program, which received $454 million in fiscal 2025, was slashed to just $74 million for 2026. That's an 84% cut that effectively freezes one of the most important naval aviation programs in decades. Defense Secretary Hegseth defended this controversial decision during congressional hearings. His reasoning centered on what he called industrial base constraints. According to senior Pentagon officials, the American defense industry simply cannot handle developing two sixth-generation fighter programs simultaneously without compromising both. The choice came down to going all in on one program or risking failure on both. This decision reflects what Pentagon insiders describe as clear presidential priority to ensure the F-47 program succeeds. The Trump administration made it crystal clear that air dominance through the F-47 takes precedence over all other fighter development programs. The logic is straightforward but controversial. Concentrate resources on one revolutionary program, rather than spreading them thin across multiple efforts. Boeing's next-generation air dominance triumph. The F-47's development under the next-generation air dominance program represents more than just technological advancement. It's a complete reimagining of what air superiority means in the 21st century. The aircraft's advanced stealth capabilities go far beyond traditional radar-evading technology, incorporating what engineers call all-aspect stealth, the ability to remain virtually invisible from every angle. Perhaps most impressive are the F-47's artificial intelligence decision aids, which transform how pilots process information and make tactical decisions. The F-47's AI systems act as intelligent co-pilots, analyzing vast amounts of sensor data and presenting pilots with clear recommendations for optimal tactical responses. This human-machine partnership multiplies the effectiveness of every pilot while reducing the mental workload that has historically limited combat performance. The aircraft can simultaneously receive and transmit information from satellites, ground stations, other aircraft, ships, and even individual soldiers on the battlefield. This creates an unprecedented level of situational awareness that allows pilots to see threats and opportunities that would be invisible to earlier generations of fighters. The Air Force has been secretly testing experimental aircraft for this program for 5 years.
An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years,
proving out technologies that seemed impossible just a decade ago. The result is an aircraft that Air Force leaders promise will fly during the current administration and cost less than the F-22 while delivering far superior capabilities. Navy's carrier aviation crisis deepens. The decision to effectively pause the F/A-XX program comes at a critical time when America faces a challenge that most citizens don't understand. The Navy confronts a looming crisis, a massive shortage of carrier-based fighters that threatens the foundation of American naval dominance. The backbone of naval aviation for decades has been the F/A-18 Super Hornet, aircraft that have served with distinction from Iraq to Afghanistan to recent operations against Iranian proxies in the Red Sea. But these aircraft are approaching the end of their service lives. Super Hornets are designed for 9,000 flight hours, and early models are rapidly approaching that limit. Boeing announced in February 2023 that it would cease F/A-18 production in 2025, ending an era for a warplane that has been the reliable workhorse of naval aviation since the 1970s. This creates what military experts call a dangerous fighter gap, a period when the Navy won't have enough modern fighters to fully equip its aircraft carriers. The F-35C Lightning II was supposed to help fill this gap, but it's not a complete replacement for the Super Hornet's range and payload capacity. Navy leaders envisioned the F/A-XX as the high-end complement to the F-35C, providing the long-range strike capability essential for operations in the vast Pacific Ocean. Current Navy plans called for the F/A-XX to feature superior range, speed, and sensor capabilities compared to anything currently in service. The aircraft was designed to integrate manned and unmanned systems, with a 25% increase in range compared to current platforms. Congressional resistance and political battleground. The Pentagon's decision has created a firestorm of criticism on Capitol Hill. Representative Ken Calvert, the Republican chairman of the House Appropriations Committee on Defense, warned, "I'm concerned that any hesitancy on our part to proceed with the planned procurement of sixth-generation fighters for the Navy will leave us dangerously outmatched in a China fight. We cannot wait." House appropriators have already pushed back against the Pentagon's budget priorities. Their version of the fiscal 2026 defense spending bill includes $972 million to continue development of the F/A-XX program, more than 13 times what the Pentagon requested. This dramatic difference signals a major confrontation brewing between Congress and the executive branch. The resistance addresses fundamental questions about American defense strategy. Calvert pointed to broader implications. We cannot expect to grow the industrial base by undermining aviation programs that rely on highly specialized supply chains and skilled labor that cannot be turned on and off like a switch. China's growing threat and strategic implications. This debate isn't happening in a vacuum. It's taking place against China's rapid military modernization and growing assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific region. China has been investing heavily in its own sixth-generation fighter programs while developing sophisticated anti-access capabilities specifically designed to keep American forces away from potential conflict zones. The People's Liberation Army Air Force has been rapidly expanding its fleet of advanced fighters, including the J-20 stealth fighter. Perhaps more concerning is China's massive investment in long-range missiles specifically designed to target American aircraft carriers. The DF-21D and DF-26 missiles, often called carrier killers, represent a direct challenge to America's ability to operate large surface ships within range of the Chinese mainland. The Chinese approach emphasizes systems destruction warfare, using integrated networks of sensors, missiles, and electronic warfare systems to defeat enemy air power through coordinated attacks rather than traditional air-to-air combat. This strategy is specifically designed to negate American advantages in pilot training and aircraft performance. Technological revolution in air combat. The F-47 embodies a fundamental shift in how air warfare will be conducted in the future. Artificial intelligence plays a central role, with advanced AI systems acting as intelligent assistants that can analyze threats, suggest optimal responses, and even take autonomous action when authorized. The aircraft's sensor fusion capabilities go far beyond anything currently in service. The F-47 can simultaneously process data from multiple sources to create a comprehensive, real-time picture of the entire battlefield. This information is then shared instantly with other friendly forces. Perhaps most revolutionary is the F-47's ability to serve as a command and control node for autonomous aircraft. The Collaborative Combat Aircraft Program envisions scenarios where a single F-47 pilot can direct dozens or hundreds of unmanned systems in complex operations. These autonomous aircraft can perform dangerous missions while keeping human pilots out of harm's way. Industrial base implications. The Pentagon's decision reflects concerns about America's defense industrial base that most people don't appreciate. Building sixth-generation fighters requires capabilities that exist nowhere else in the world. The specialized engineers, advanced manufacturing equipment, and cutting-edge materials represent investments that took decades to develop. The challenge facing Pentagon planners is managing competing demands for limited resources. Running two major sixth-generation fighter programs simultaneously would require dividing the specialized workforce between competing efforts. The F-35 program provides a sobering example. Originally estimated at $200 billion in 2001, it has grown to an estimated $1.7 trillion over its lifetime. Boeing's selection for the F-47 contract provides the company with a major program that could sustain its defense business for decades while ensuring America maintains its technological edge. Before we wrap up, I want to connect with those of you who've served our nation. If you're a military veteran, currently serving, or simply someone who appreciates the sacrifices made by our armed forces, we'd love to have you join our community here at Jet Insight. Your experience and perspective make these conversations richer for everyone. The road ahead. Several key factors will determine whether the Pentagon's bold bet proves to be strategic brilliance or a costly mistake. The immediate challenge is managing congressional pressure to restore FAXX funding. Technical risks also remain significant. The F-47 program is integrating numerous cutting-edge technologies that could face setbacks. International developments will influence this strategy's success. If China deploys its own sixth-generation fighters ahead of schedule, the calculus could change rapidly. The health of America's defense industrial base will be crucial, as concentrating so much development with Boeing creates vulnerabilities. Conclusion. The Pentagon's decision to go all in on the F-47 while putting the Navy's FAXX program on hold represents one of the most significant choices in modern defense planning. This isn't just about aircraft programs. It's about competing visions for how America will fight future wars and maintain global military dominance. The F-47 program embodies a revolutionary approach that could provide America with decisive advantages for decades. However, Abandoning naval aviation modernization creates risks that cannot be ignored. Aircraft carriers have been the backbone of American power projection, and allowing this capability to atrophy could compromise our ability to operate where future conflicts are most likely. The true wisdom of this choice will become apparent as events unfold. The brave men and women of our armed forces deserve the best equipment American ingenuity can provide. Whether the Pentagon's current path delivers on that promise remains to be seen, but the stakes couldn't be higher for our national security. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to subscribe to Jet Insight and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment below with good work if this breakdown helped you understand this complex situation better.